guys, welcome back to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I have a recipe for you that's perfect for those busy weeknights. It's quick, it's easy, it's full of flavor. I'm going to teach you how to make my chicken chili con carne. Now I know that is a Mexican-inspired meal, but it is especially for one of my viewers that has asked me for this on Facebook. This is for you, Anastasia Tessie Machado. I hope I pronounced that right. Now, I'm using chicken for this because chicken is perfect for busy weeknights. It comes together in under an hour and it's all in one pot. You cannot beat that. Let's go over the ingredients so we can start. We're gonna need a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, some red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, some diced onion, garlic cloves. I like some heat, so I'm using jalapeno peppers. You can leave them out if you don't like it. Some chicken broth, salt. These are some canned tomatoes that are pureed, so you can use diced tomatoes or crushed tomatoes. Black pepper, some olive oil. I have some ground chicken over here. This is ground chicken thigh meat just because it's super flavorful and juicy. And I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I've chopped up into small pieces. We're gonna use a little bit of tomato paste. And then the dry spices. We need some salt, dried cumin, this is smoked paprika, chili powder, and some dried oregano. So we're gonna season the chicken with some salt and some black pepper. Give it a nice mix and just make sure it's seasoned all around for maximum flavor. So I have a Dutch oven pot heating over medium-high heat. I'm gonna add about 2-3 tablespoons of olive oil to it and the chicken. Go ahead and cook the chicken pieces about 4 to 5 minutes or until they're cooked all around. They're not going to be totally golden because, especially if you've overcrowded the pan like I have, you can do it in 2 batches if you want them to be golden, but this is fine for me. They're going to release easily once they're done. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer them to the same plate because I'm not worried about contamination because this is going to continue to cook later on. But if you are worried about that, you can go ahead and use a different plate and have one more thing to wash. That is fine by me. All of those brown juicy bits on the bottom are flavor, so you want to leave that in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my onions. This is 1 medium onion that I finely chopped. I'm going to season it with just a little bit of salt because that also helps draw out the water. And I'm just going to cook it about 5 to 6 minutes or until it's nice and soft. So while the onions are cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and grate my garlic cloves so everything is ready to go into the pot. And then I'm gonna slice up these jalapenos. Jalapenos add freshness and they also add heat. So if you don't want it spicy, this is gonna add about medium spiciness. If you don't want it spicy, then either add 1 or just leave it out. The onions are soft and golden. I'm gonna go ahead and stir this garlic in just for a few seconds. Once it warms through, it's done. You do not want that to burn. And then I'm gonna add the ground chicken. And I'm just gonna break it up and mix it with these onions and just brown it just a little bit. This is ground chicken thigh meat. Now you can use chicken breast, but I really love the flavor that the chicken thigh meat has. It stays nice and juicy and it's much less expensive than chicken breast is. The ground chicken is looking really good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the chicken back into the pot. I'm gonna add the jalapenos, all of this flavorful seasoning, bell peppers. I'm gonna mix everything up. Now I'm gonna add the pureed tomatoes. Now if your family likes it chunky and you have diced tomatoes, you can go ahead and just put the canned tomatoes in just like that. But we like a smoother tomato-y texture. And then I'm gonna add some chicken broth. I'm also gonna add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So that way it's gonna add nice, deep richness, tomato goodness, and some Worcestershire sauce. This is really gonna elevate that flavor. About 2 tablespoons is all you need. Give it a nice mix. I'm gonna let this mixture cook on high heat until it comes to a boil. Once it boils, I'm gonna reduce the heat to a medium. I'm gonna cover the pot with a lid and then I'm gonna let it simmer on medium heat until it's nice and thick. It's gonna take about 30 or 35 minutes. and I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it's done. After about 35 minutes, this is what the chili should look like. Now, of course, you can definitely cook this longer if you want it to become thicker, but I really like this consistency. I think it's perfect. Now, every now and then you could also go in with the back of a wooden spoon and just break up the big chunky pieces of chicken so you can have nice texture in your chili stew. Now, for me, this is good. It's ready. Again, if you want it to be thicker, go ahead and cook it longer. Now, this is a great meal to throw in your slow cooker if you have one. If not, of course, you don't need special equipment for this. Just use any pot. I like to use a Dutch oven because it retains the heat really nice. The minimum amount of time that this needs to cook for is about 35 minutes, like I showed you, but the longer you cook chilies, we all know the better they get. But if you do want to cook it longer, you could go all the way up to the hour mark, maybe even an hour and a half, until the chicken pieces start to shred up and just melt. That's going to add really nice texture to your stew. It's also going to become thicker. Make sure you go ahead and you give it a taste before you serve it and adjust the seasoning. If it needs a little bit more salt or pepper, you could go ahead and add it at the last moment. I do like to serve mine with a dollop of sour cream, some lemon wedges on the side because I like the contrast of flavors. I do love the way lemon, and you could even do lime brighten up hearty dishes like this. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste. Lord have mercy, this is so good. The flavors are so intense. You have smokiness from the smoked paprika. You have all the sweetness from the bell peppers. That chicken is just perfectly cooked and falling apart and melted. I love the way there are two different kinds. You get the minced chicken or the ground chicken and the chicken pieces that are just falling apart. The parsley adds the perfect freshness, and the sour cream adds that creamy, delightful flavor that we all know and love. Go ahead and print the recipe on my website, dimitrasdishes.com, to get all the exact measurements. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and if you have any special requests. Anastasia, I hope you love this. Thank you guys for spending time with me today, and I will see you all next time. Yes, sis.